Growing a well-developed butt has recently become more and more popular, and mine practically blew up in the space of just a few months from implementing these 3 things. And I'm sure if you implement them as well, the same can happen to you. I went through a long series of trial and error to find out what works best to grow a ginormous peach, and I think I've found the 3 best things which will allow you to grow your glutes in the fastest time possible. And I want to show you them today, so let's get straight into it. Firstly, really focusing in on a good connection. I'm a big believer that you should find movements where you feel it in your glutes the most. For example, I really feel my glutes engaged during adductors and barbell hip thrusts, whereas in a leg press, I feel for me this is more of a quad dominant movement, and therefore I don't factor this in as part of my direct glute-based training. There are so many glute-based movements, and I'd recommend basically trying all of them until you find the movements that work best for you. And then when you do find the glute exercise that work best for you, really zone in on them. For me, my main movements for the glutes are always the RDL, the hip thrust as mentioned above, the barbell squat, which is probably my favorite, alongside adductors, and of course Bulgarian split squats. Secondly, using pre-exhaustion. This is something I have implemented for a long time now, and I feel it really works for me. Pre-exhaustion is the idea that you can fatigue other areas of your legs, such as your quads and hamstrings, before training your glutes. So that when you are training your glutes, they are forced to engage more and take over during the movement. An easy way of putting this into your training day is by doing a quad-based movement first, like a leg extension, and then a hamstring-based movement second, like a lying leg cut. So these parts of your legs are fatigued by the time you go into your third movement, which should be a glute-based movement. So as an example, once you have completed 3 sets of leg extensions and 3 sets of lying leg curls, you can go into one of the movements we have mentioned above, such as the Bulgarian split squat. Again, a glute dominant exercise. Thirdly, always choose good form over increasing the weight. Of course, it's important to progress on the amount of weight you're lifting, but only after you can take your movement for a full range of motion, and only after you can get a good squeeze at the top of each and every rep. I've always found that feeling the squeeze, i.e. how much you feel your glutes engage when you train, is more important in the glutes than basically every other muscle group in the body. And this for the same reason that we talked about previously, because other muscle groups such as your hamstrings and quads can take over. We don't want this to happen, as we want to prioritize the butt, and therefore we really want to make sure we are performing the correct form with every movement so we can get the most out of our glute training. I'll mention it again, range of motion is key. So on a barbell squat, you want to make sure you're getting your butt below parallel, so just past your knee joint, and then you want to explode all the way to the top. Of course, with some people, you'll be limited with your range of motion, and there is an easy solution around that, which is making sure you stretch as much as possible. I found for me, stretching allowed me to increase my range of motion when training, and therefore allow me to get more out of my glute training, meaning they grew faster. Some stretches that you can do are glute-based stretches like this one on the screen, and lower back-based stretches such as the child's pose. These are really going to allow you to get a better range of motion. So that is the 3 main tips or hacks that I have used, and these genuinely grew my glutes so much, even in just a few months. So you guys should all be set as per. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and keep me updated with how you get on with these 3 tips. As per usual, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell. Have an amazing rest of your day. Big love, H.